No, I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, it's...
Alright. I need you to imagine yourself out in the woods. You're doing a cryptid investigation show. You've done a lot of these. And, you know, part of you believes in cryptids and strange creatures that really do exist in the world. So you're out there with a guide, hunting down a werewolf. And you heard a werewolf, or at least a wolf sound in the air. What do? Do you A, get out of there, or B, tell the guy that he's got nothing to worry about? Calm down. We're gonna go check it out. I'm sure that nothing bad could possibly happen like it has to the other people we found out about. I'll give you 3 guesses which one these guys picked. I'm CJ Booker. This is the Found Footage Broadcast, and today we are diving into the Fairfield County Four. The title, I already forgot. God, even after having watched the movie, because it has nothing to do with anything. This one's a doozy. Roll the intro, here we go. You know, there's a lot of these found footage movies where you get a bunch of people who probably work in film or they're just out of film school. They want to make themselves a movie, and so they figure, well, we're charming and personable. Why don't we film ourselves just rolling around doing whatever we want, and then right near the end, we'll introduce the monster and have a big scary scene. There's lots of them. I've seen more than I care to count. And you know, that on the surface sounds terrible, but it's actually... It can be okay. No, it's actually most of the time it's terrible. Most of the time, these people think they're way more charming than they actually are. The fact that they enjoy hanging out with each other means that we must enjoy hanging out with them, right? So why bother with a script or a story or going anywhere with things? But in all fairness to the Fairfield County Four, this terribly titled movie, they at least had some structure. You know, there was sort of a plot as these youths do their investigation for their cryptid show. They hunt down people to interview. They actually do some proper investigation. They visit some local sites and generally get to the bottom of what's going on. But they're also very guilty of, you know, wasting your time. There are more than a few scenes of them just walking. Just in the city during the day with no tension. Just, hey man, here's the part of the footage where nothing happened. Let's watch. It's bizarre. And then there's the uneven performances. You know, the best found footage movies, when it's zero budget like this, don't give people a script. They just give them something to riff off of and away you go. And sometimes you get gold, sometimes you get garbage. There is a mix of both here. It's kind of fun to see a scene set up and wonder, okay, are these guys going to pull it off, or is this going to be awkward? And there's one scene in particular, and I'll save this for spoilers when we get into the breakdown. But man, she acts her little heart out, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work because they gave her a script. And so she's trying to force a whole bunch of emotion through and also do this script. And it's just uncomfortable. It's just uncomfortable. You're just sitting there waiting. Okay. Let her finish so we can move on. Give us some nice footage of you guys walking down the sidewalk. I don't need to pick on the acting. It's not like I can act. So, you know, it's fine. But when we finally get down to stuff, when we finally get down to that last act, suddenly we have a movie, and that last act is totally worth watching. We actually find someone who really knows what they're talking about and is interesting enough to watch, where you actually want to hear them talk about it. And then, you know, we go on our little in the woods trip, which is where all the action happens in every found footage movie. And we have a bunch of action, bunch of bloody, gory, screaming and crying and yelling and mayhem and pandemonium, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's a great action sequence and a wonderful third act. Does it make everything that came before it worth it? Kinda. I mean, it does. Like, I think they really pull it off in the end. It's not bad content before that third act. It's just content that you could have skipped. Like, it doesn't really impact a lot. Now, in the full breakdown, I'm actually going to go into every little thing that leads up to that third act, as well as the third act itself, and some very strange things that happen that seem very arbitrary. So, if you want to see the movie without spoilers, skip to the time code on the screen right now, after which point we will get into the big question, the only question, the main question that counts: should you watch it? But for now, let's get into the breakdown. So we start off by meeting a representative of the four families of the four youths who've gone missing. And he just wants to bring justice. This is all covered up. All we know is that they were in Fairfield County and they're gone. This is their footage. Dun dun dun. So we meet our documentarians. We have Buddy, who is emotionally attached to producing amazing content. There's always one. He talks directly to the camera with great passion about how much he believes in all of this and what it means to him from a career perspective. We've got two co-hosts, Girl 1 and Girl 2. I know nothing about them because they reveal nothing about themselves. They're just there to talk to the camera. They're not bad, but there's nothing to them. And then we got the sound guy. He's the one out of the four that has personality. He makes a lot of jokes. He interrupts people constantly to tell them that they've got to say what they've just said a second time, and that's really awkward for a lot of people in a very funny way. He actually pulls off a lot of comedic moments, and he constantly has a cigarette, but never lights it, like ever. Not even once in the whole movie. I like that. I mean, it's a funny little quirk, a funny little thing. So we meet our four protagonists: generic white guy, Girl 1, Girl 2, and Smoker. And you pose in front of the camera, talk about absolutely nothing of interest, and then make their first stop of the movie. Their first stop is at a place called Curioporium, which is a real place. I looked it up. If you're out in southern Connecticut, check out the Curioporium. It's just a funky curiosity shop. It's got a lot of crazy stuff. They interview the shopkeeper and he talks some BS about the werewolf. Nothing particularly interesting. He's just clearly making it up as he goes along. Then we have a funny scene where the sound guy is forced to carry all the bags into the house all at once while the showrunner just makes fun of him for it. I don't know. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just a bit of fun. And then, we sit around the house and we play with the cameras and don't do anything in particular. Then we all gather around the campfire and we talk and have bonding moments. And the idea here is to develop sympathy for our characters. Our main character, showrunner guy, talks emotionally about how much all this means to him and how much he loves everybody, and we feel something. It's fine. We are at this point 21 minutes into the movie. You got all the plot beats so far? Now we go into an alley and we hunt down someone to interview. Seriously, she's just in that alley waiting for them, waiting for someone to come by and interview her. Gradually, we get ourselves together to finally start the interview. All right, here we go. And she starts telling us a little bit about how she saw the silhouette of a werewolf once. That's it. We are now at 26 minutes in. And this is the scene that I love the most. It's the scene where they walk down the sidewalk for a very long time. And eventually they find this really interesting place. It's like in the basement of some kind of industrial building. And it's called the Half Moon Coffee and Grill Cafe. And it's got this kind of weird, creepy flag in the window. And you're like, okay, it's on. We're going to go in here. We're going to have a creepy encounter. This is great. And so they go to a deli instead. I interview a couple of high school students who improv a couple of stories about a werewolf, and then the owner improvs kicking them out, being all angry, and then they go out to the parking lot and improv being hungry. And then we come to the most painful scene of the movie. Now it's up to you to decide why this scene is painful. It's either painful because the character is in a lot of pain. She's talking about a situation where her daughter went missing because of the werewolf. Now, why there isn't more news about a missing person who got snatched up by a werewolf, I don't know. What about the Fairfield County one? I mean, we skip this person. It's like they just suddenly materialize into the story's ether. So, I don't know, but here she is talking about the night her daughter went missing, and she's sobbing and sobbing and sobbing throughout the whole thing, even when she tells us about the weather that day.
Saying how peaceful the night was.
This was some acting. Anyway, they go outside, they're all shook up, and then a couple randos approach the film crew and say, hey, go talk to the mayor. So they go talk to the mayor, and you're like, okay, here we go. Here's where the conspiracy starts. The mayor's going to be super shady, super creepy, and he's going to hide a bunch of stuff. He'll tell them that there's nothing there, but really, it'll be clear he knows more than he's letting on. Nah. He seems like a bit of a doofus and sweet guy, and he doesn't believe that there's a werewolf, because sincerely, who would believe there's a werewolf? And that's it. It's a sweet scene, though. Don't get me wrong. Mayor's a cute guy. I liked him. I liked the character. I liked the actor. Very nice. But boy, did that go nowhere. But somebody else on the council comes by. And this is where things finally get moving. So this creepy looking fella, and why is he creepy? Look at him. There's nothing creepy about him. But boy, he is emanating creepiness, right? Right? It's a good actor. Anyway, he puts them on to a relative of his, Val. And he says, Val can tell you all about the werewolf. Go see Val. It'll be great. And we go to some house out by the woods, and we meet Val. Val's this wild looking character, man. He looks cool. Like, I almost wish, and I know this is going to sound weird, but I almost wish they did not give Val too many lines in this movie, because while he's great looking and he carries his lines off well, I mean, he's good, they give him so much dialogue that you've just got to be like an incredible actor to carry off that much dialogue. Think about House of a Thousand Corpses, okay? House of a Thousand Corpses, you've got Otis. Bill Moseley is the actor. And Otis has this aura about him. He's commanding, he's intimidating, except for one scene. One scene where he riffs on and on and on about his philosophy of art. And that scene, he is the least intimidating. Too much dialogue, too much chatter. Characters like these need to punctuate emotional beats with just a few words. And so just like with House of a Thousand Corpses, the more talking, the less interesting. I think they did this poor actor in Fairfield County Four a disservice by giving him too much to say. But having said that, in his defense, oh, what's his name? Hang on. What's the actor's name? There he is. Oh, by an amazing coincidence, Val's real name is Otis. Freaking cool. Otis B. Dreads. Oh, wait, that can't be his real name. Otis B. Dreads. Okay, well, anyway, that's how he's credited. Honestly, that kind of makes me love him more. I love this guy, Otis B. Dreads. He's really good. And I mean, he did a good job with what they gave him, and they gave him too much, legit. But I think he made it work best he could. So he meets everybody, does a bunch of folklore communication, and finally we get a little bit of lore around the werewolf. But it's very vague. Mostly it has to do with him and his family. And you're not really sure how him and his family connects with a werewolf, apart from the fact that he's been living there for a long time and his family's known about it for generations upon generations, since before he was born. But let's go out in the woods. So they're out in the woods. He brings them out to the foundation of a house that his family used to live in. tells some more stories about his family from back in the day. And they're wandering around and they hear a wolf howl. Val's got no interest in investigating this. Val's like, nope, wolves do not live around here. If you're hearing a wolf howl, that's a werewolf. We have to leave. And everybody's like, no. Why would you worry about that? It's not like we've been investigating a werewolf this whole time. We're gonna be fine. And Val just books it. He takes off. So we wander around in the dark for a little while, and then we get our first kill. And I love this first kill. You know, I love it because, well, first of all, the werewolf costume is pretty good. I mean, this is the lighting for it. Nice and dark with just a spotlight in the front so you can just see enough details. She gets her throat torn out and falls down, and it's very abrupt, very shocking. After all this time with very little happening, suddenly a kill. And it's fantastic. So everyone screams, they run off, and then our poor sound guy ends up getting separated from everyone. They find him, and he's got his guts hanging out, and then the werewolf comes by and silently, I might add, removes the sound guy's head and tosses it over at the camera. It's an effective shot, but I think they could have done more with the sound design. It seemed a little weird. Like the sound guy's head was just detachable or something. Anyway, they run. They run until they get to Val's house. And all of a sudden, Val's got a big group of people around him. Who are these people? They haven't been in the movie. Val never mentioned that there would be other people around. Maybe this is his family, but I don't think he really implied that he had a lot of family alive. I don't know who these people are. There's just a lot of people. He's standing outside next to his house, and he's got a great big pistol, a revolver. And he tells the remaining two of the crew to get back in the woods. I get the sense he's threatening them, not defending himself from the werewolf. So this is a little weird. Doesn't make a lot of sense. But anyway, we take off again, running and screaming, shaky cam, shaky cam. And we come across various mangled people who were hanging out with Val. So I'm not, again, sure what in the world these people were doing out there with Val. Apparently, they all wanted to get their guts ripped out or something. But we get some great practical effects, lots of cool guts and blood and whatever. Our remaining two crew members end up inside the house. The werewolf gently and quietly lets himself into the house, looks the wrong way until our crew yells to get his attention. And while the werewolf takes off after one person, Val comes in with his gun and shoots the cameraman. And of course, it's all a mystery. The police are not interested in following up on this, don't know where Val is, don't know who any of those people outside are. Officially, they don't even exist. And, yeah, roll credits. Okay. It's a little baffling. We had a lot of fun at the end of this, but it didn't make a lot of sense. So, I mean, and that's it for spoilers. If you took a break, come on back. This is all good. But I think what we can say, kind of as a takeaway, is this movie works better if you don't take it seriously, because I don't think they wanted you to take it seriously. I think the intention behind this movie is just have a little fun. And I think we accomplished that. So here's the big question, the main question, the only question. Should you watch it? If you're looking for something to play on a second screen, if you're just kind of bored and you want something light that doesn't require a lot of brain power, this might fit. Really good gore effects, really good blood at the end of that, in that third act. And up to that point, you can just kind of listen to it and, you know, keep track of what's going on. And it's not a terrible use of your time. It's really not. However, if you want to sit down and focus and absorb a piece of cinematic history, this isn't it. This is not it. This is a silly found footage movie made with no money and a lot of volunteer actors and only the roughest of plots. And in the end, well, it doesn't make a lot of sense. You can get your action at the end, but all kinds of things are introduced right at the last second that don't go anywhere. So why are they there at all? I don't know. So If you want to use your brain today, avoid the Fairfield County Four. If you're just wanted to chill out, watch a basic low budget movie with your friends, you could do worse. Just allow yourself permission to maybe hit fast forward every once in a while in that first couple of acts, because it does drag here and there. Next up, we're going a little bit bigger budget, a little bit more polished with Shelby Oaks. Shelby Oaks made a big splash when it came out, so I'm actually looking forward to getting into this one. I haven't even seen it yet, so here's hoping it's awesome, or here's hoping it's really terrible. I mean, either way, I'm interested. Join me next time for more found footage, amazing awesomeness, and see you next time, you beasts.
This is Burkittsville, formerly Blair.
Make a video diary.